Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing another KJ Parker book. This is Prosper's Demon. It is a novella and this is following the first KJ Parker book that I read, 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City. After reading that book, I wanted to read more by this author, so I figured this would be another place to start. It's a novella, it's a little under 100 pages, so it'd be a great place to get my feet wet and see if I wanted to read anything else by this author. As you can probably tell by the cover, and if you're familiar with the book that I previously mentioned, 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City, this book is obviously going to be very different. My library has classed it on the spine as horror, and it does look a little spooky from just the cover, but it's under 100 pages, so there can only be 100 pages of spook. So let's talk about what I thought about this book and what happens in this book, and maybe if you are interested, you can pick up a copy and read this yourself. Prosper's Demon, as mentioned, is a novella, and it is a little bit on the spookier side. I wouldn't say it's true horror, although I guess I don't know the true definition of that. I am incredibly sensitive to things that are spooky, scary, things that go bump in the night, so I cannot read anything that is too really horrific in the horror genre. This just has an unsettling edge, which you definitely feel from the very beginning. We're following a narrator who is never named to my knowledge or to my attention throughout the book, who is a person capable of casting out demons. So the world has demonic possessions, and there are these religious figures who I'm just going to call priests for simplicity, who get assigned territories, and their job is to go around and cast demons out of people. There is a little bit of a balance here in that the priest can decide how gently or aggressively they want to cast out the demon, but they can't actually kill the demon they're casting out. The demon will just move along. So it's kind of a little bit of a job security thing. They just go around casting out demons, hopefully convincing the demon to leave without causing much further harm, making their life easier and the demon not subject to unnecessary pain, even though they're just going to go on to possess someone else. Our narrator in this book is going to one of the most important men alive because he has been possessed by a demon, but not many people know that, and that is the trick. Our narrator is also a little bit of a morally gray character. Not a little bit, he is. We get the understanding that he has a long-standing antagonistic relationship with another demon, which he blames some of his horrible behavior on. In the beginning of Prosper's Demon, we see him getting rid of a dead body that he claims the demon possessed and then made him kill. So there's this idea that the narrator is, I wouldn't say unreliable, but not entirely morally trustworthy. He's not an upstanding priest with good morals who's going to go around casting out demons, although he does go around and cast out demons. He also has his own struggle and has a long-standing antagonistic relationship with one of these demons as well. He arrives at a palace where he meets Prosper, who is the man who is tasked with raising a royal baby. Prosper has all the ideas about how he's going to raise this baby. He's also known to be a genius and just an exceptional man of his generation, and he is unfortunately demon possessed. Now, normally we get this sense that when there's demon possession, you can tell someone is acting crazy. You can see it in their demeanor and behavior, but Prosper is kind of keeping it all together. He's keeping it all in. And our narrator quickly, though, realizes that there is something inside Prosper. So he can see past the exterior and into the demon within. And unfortunately, he is going to have to figure out a way to convince this demon to leave, or it's kind of also hinted at maybe our character doesn't want to cast out this demon because this demon has been working in a positive manner, let's say, with Prosper and can lead to a lot of benefits to humanity. So our main character is put in this position. Does he cast out this demon? Does he tell Prosper that he's demon possessed? And does he work with this demon to accomplish some great works and feats in humanity and maybe just let this demon go against maybe what he's supposed to be doing? It is under 100 pages, so it does pack in a lot in a little bit of time. I will say the beginning is probably the most unsettling because you're not sure what's going on, and because it's a novella, there isn't a ton of time to build out the world, but I think the author does a good job of building out the world in as much time as he has. The unsettlingness does go away once you start to understand the plot or what's going on in the world. So the unsettled feeling that kind of contributes to the horror atmosphere, which is why I think the library labeled this as is, goes away pretty quickly. But again, it's only 100 pages, so the book is going to move fast. I think having a character, the priest, the person who's casting out demons, the narrator, not be someone who's always morally good, morally upstanding, is a very good move on the part of the author, because it makes you wonder, when he's starting to debate, does he want to work with this demon that he's supposed to be casting out of this great genius man? You are never sure if he's actually going to follow through on what he's supposed to be doing, because he's someone who has, first of all, a long-standing relationship with a demon already, although he doesn't particularly want the relationship he has with the demon who kind of follows him around. But he's not exactly a perfect person himself. We saw the opening scene, him trying to get rid of a dead body. So there is ambiguity in how the character is going to respond, and I think the story just wouldn't work if it was a character who was completely morally upstanding and you knew he was always going to do the right thing. So I think that was a very good choice on the part of the author, to have a character who doesn't always make good decisions, or also sometimes comes under the influence of another demon. So I think that was a very good call in terms of writing the characters. Overall, I think this was very good. I am trying to step out of my comfort zone and read things that maybe my library thinks is horror but isn't too spooky, just because it's a whole genre that I feel like there's a lot of great writing in. However, because I'm very easily scared, I don't want to read anything that's going to give me nightmares or make me not want to get up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. And this did the job. It creates the unsettling atmosphere, which can be quite spooky at times. I started reading this at night and I had to set it down and come back in the daytime so I could read it when it was light out. But it's not so unsettling that you can't live your daily life. And I am the bare minimum. If you think I can't handle spooky very well, if that's a thought that you have, I can't handle spooky well. So if I'm telling you that you can read this book, you probably truly can. There is a little bit of blood and violence, but a lot of it happens off screen and it can be glossed over. But if you're extraordinarily sensitive to violence as well, this is maybe on the edge of the comfort level, but for me, it was something that pushed my comfort zone without going too far outside my comfort zone. Overall, I did like this. I liked it more than I thought I would. Even though I did like the first book I read by KJ Parker, that was more of a fantasy and this was more horror. So I did like this one, and I think the author is a good writer. I'm actually reading something else right now by Tom Holt, which is KJ Parker's. KJ Parker is a name that Tom Holt writes under. So I'm reading something by the same author right now, and I'm really enjoying his writing style and his humor. And so if anything I said in this book review sounds interesting, you might want to check out Prosper's Demon and give it a read. And if you have read this book, please let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest